Welcome to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana. As the 2-3 New Orleans Saints take on the 1-4 Atlanta Falcons. Both teams will be without their starting quarterbacks today, as Atlanta will have Sean Renfree starting in the place of Matt Ryan, and the New Orleans Saints will have Luke McCown starting in the place of Drew Brees. So as that matchup of backup quarterbacks would go on today, it's also going to be a good matchup of two decent defenses. Not the greatest, but they're not horrible. So you can't really say that. Devin Hester's been hurt most this year, only got one return in last week. Always dangerous, as Morstead will get us underway here. 24 kickoffs, 10 touchbacks, not too shabby on this year either. Morstead is back and running to the football, and we are underway here in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Eric Weems will return it in his own end zone, and he's just going to take a knee. So out comes Renfree, looking okay this year. 59% completion percentage, 786 yards, 5 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. Atlanta's going to have to do some work today to beat this Saints defense, who has been playing quite well as they run it on first down, and they are getting nowhere as Freeman stop for a loss of 1. Freeman has already over 500 yards on the season, which is quite good for a bad team like Atlanta. 3rd and 6, Renfree has all the time in the world, and he's going to overthrow Devin Hester. That is just a backup quarterback throw that you would expect. Coming into the game, we talked to Brady Leland, the interim head coach of the New Orleans Saints, about the game plan for what this game is going to be, and he just said that it's going to be run the heavy, and he said it's going to be careful with the football. No turnovers is the goal for them, as McCown, if he can have no turnovers, he's quite accurate, and he's not a deep ball thrower, but you just saw who his favorite receiver is there, and that is Marquise Colston. They've been on the team for a while together now, and you see whenever McCown gets first team reps, that's who he goes to. As Ingram picks up 4 on first down, 3rd and 6. McCown under pressure, has Watson, but Watson's going to drop it. That was a big play waiting to happen, but that's a drop by Watson, and that's not going to do anything. But they go for it on 4th and 6, and they have Willie Snead underneath the left side for a first down. Luke McCown 3 for 5 so far. 1st and 10, hand off to Ingram to the middle, and he has space, and he's going to pick up 13 yards up to the 20 of Atlanta. They are now officially in the red zone, or as you can think of it, the green zone for money, because that's where dollars are being made. As we get down to the 8-yard line, 1st and goal for the Saints upcoming. As you see the pink on the captain's badges, as that is for a good cause and breast cancer awareness. McCown rolling out to the right, all time in the world, and he's going to get hit hard out of bounds, but he'll be okay as he picks up 2. Now, 2nd and goal, dump off to Spiller. Spiller is going to pick up 3 up to the 4. 3rd and goal, empty set, McCown, quick pass is almost intercepted, and that is going to force the Saints to bring out the field goal kicker, Forbath. Kai Forbath, his kick is up, and it is true. As the Saints take a 3-zip lead over the Atlanta Falcons, as that opening drive for the Saints was very successful. Strong eye for the Falcons. Renfree, blitz coming, has a man, but he overthrows him. It's Jacob Tamme. Nobody in the vicinity of Tamme, as that should have been a first down. 2nd down now, and that's Julio Jones with his first catch 10 minutes into the game. Not very good. 3rd and 2, blitz incoming. Renfree standing tall, has Tamme, and Tamme is going to be close to the marker, and they're going to indeed give it to him as Jarius Byrd almost made the play. 2nd 5, Jones in motion. It's a screen. Dump down to Freeman, and Freeman is going to be met by Delvin Breaux, who is going to bring him down 8 inches short. And on 3rd and inches, he is brought down short of that first down, losing 4, and the ball goes back to the Saints. 1st and 10, handoff to Ingram. He's got a hole to the right side, and he'll be brought down by 2 Falcons, one of those being Truvant. And the last play of the first quarter here will be a handoff to Ingram, and Ingram is going to pick up 3. And at the end of 1, it is a 3-0 lead for the Saints. Now 3rd and 7. McCown dropping back. Over the middle has Colston, his go-to guy, as Colston picks up the first down, and they are now in Atlanta territory up to the 40. McCown drops back, has Colston once again, and Colston is going to almost break a tackle, and he is going to get down to the 24-yard line on 1st and 10. Hand off to Ingram, and Ingram's only going to pick up 4. Not the biggest gain there. 2nd and 7. Play action to Ingram. Count drops back. Has Cooks over the middle. That was almost intercepted by Ishmael. But Cooks comes up with a big catch. That was catch number 25 on the year for him. Ingram gets the run here, and that's going to be a gain of 3 on the play. 3rd and 7. Screen. Give it to Ingram. Ingram breaks Warlow's tackle. Stumbles. Keeps going. He's in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. It's going to be a 10-0 game now as Ingram broke Warlow's tackle. That could have been a loss, but instead he turned it into a touchdown. Now 1st and 10, Freeman has room, and he's going to be brought down by Jairus Byrd after a gain of 10. 1st and 10, play action Freeman. Pressure coming, and it's Donnell Ellerby with the sack as they are going to lose 9 on the play. That is Ellerby's first sack of the game and his first tackle of the game. 3rd and 18. 5-man rush for the Saints. Over the middle to Tammy, and he's going to be stood up by Kenny Vaccaro. Jacob Tammy going nowhere on that one. 1st and 10, hand off Ingram. Picks up 3 up to the 26. 2nd and 6, Cooks in motion. Just across the field. He hits Cooks on the underneath pass, and Cooks is going to pick up 10 on the way to a gain up to the 36. 2nd and 6, Count drops back. Looking. Has Colson over the middle, but it'll be tipped by Warlow, it looked like. And it'll bring up 3rd and 6. Quick handoff to Johnson, and Johnson is going nowhere. And that is going to bring up 4th down and 3. Morstead punting this one away. And it's a beauty inside the 10 and down to the 5. As Morstead getting a great punt, great field position for the Saints defense. Is Stephone Anthony throwing Devontae Freeman down for a loss of 1. 3rd and 11. Hand off Freeman, and Freeman's going nowhere. Stephone Anthony on the tackle again. And that'll bring up a 4th and 10. Bosher punting this one away. It's Cooks. Cooks waiting at his own 42. Gets the ball. Cutting left, had a lane, and he's going to get up to the 39-yard line. The always electric young gun, Brandon Cooks. Looking to be the #1 option on this team, but he won't be as long as Colson's there. But Ingram picking up a big gain there as Cooks wants to be that #1 option. He's just not big enough. Most people have said that you've talked to. We talked to people here before this week, and they're just Cooks wanting to be the #1 receiver, and it's just he's not big enough, everybody says. As Watson breaks the tackle, and he's going to get down to the 13-yard line. But he's just not a big enough red zone threat for people to cover him there, and that's why he hasn't been the #1 option. As Ingram rolls his way down to the 1. Hand off Ingram. He'll rumble and tumble his way into the end zone, and it's a 17-0 deficit for the Falcons now, as Luke McCown is doing his job. No turnovers, and just letting the running game take over as they have 90 rushing yards so far in the day. 1st and 10, Renfrey. Underneath, it's Weems, and Weems is going to be met by David Hawthorne. Breaks the tackle, but he's going to be brought down at the 29. Renfrey. Saints bring 4. Underneath, it's Weems again, and he'll be met and tackled out of bounds at the 43. 1st down 10. Renfrey, 4-man rush again. Has Williams, and Williams is going to come down with it at the 41. And the Falcons use their first timeout. 1st and 10. Renfrey sitting back in the pocket. Blitz incoming. Has Tammy, and Tammy's only going to have 1 foot in bounds. No catch. And it's going to be 2nd down 10. Drop back. Pass looking underneath, and it was knocked away by Kyle Wilson. Renfrey 9 for 13, 74 yards, 3rd and 10. Looking deep for Weems, and it's not caught. And that was knocked out by Keenan Lewis. That'll be 4th and 10. And this is going to take us to halftime as Luke McCown will take a knee. So at halftime, the score is Saints 17, Falcons 0. This is your Saints Radio Network. We'll be seeing you in the second half. Welcome back here to the second half on your Saints Radio Network, as first play from scrimmage is an incomplete pass as McCown was hit and just barely got it off. 3rd and 10. Screen Spiller's going nowhere, and that's going to be a quick 3 and out for the Saints to start off the half. First play for the Falcons is nowhere, going for Devontae Freeman. 3rd and 11 now, Renfree. Everybody's going deep. He's looking for Tammy, and there's going to be a pass interference call. That was debatable whether it was catchable, but they're going to get Kenny Vaccaro, who does struggle in coverage with the pass interference. He has had this problem all year long, not able to cover the bigger tight ends or the smaller receivers, or able to cover anyone for that matter, which he should be probably moved to linebacker after this year, which that would not be a bad idea to pair him up with David Hawthorne, who's possibly on his way out, Stephon Anthony, and Haoli Kikaha, which is the hardest hardcore linebacker you can get, as that's a loss of 1 by Freeman this week. 11 rushes for 8 yards. 3rd and 11. 5-man rush from the Saints. Looking deep, and Sanford's going to knock that away with the left hand. This ball is going back to the Saints. Count under pressure as Watson, and Watson picks up 7 up to the 22. Shotgun formation. McCown over the middle has Colson, breaks a tackle and gets hit in midair. But he will pick up 10 on the play, and it's going to bring us 2nd and inches, now 3rd and 10 after a holding penalty. McCown drops back, looking right, and he's going to miss his man, David Nelson, the go-to 3rd down and long guy. Cannot come up with it with his big 6'4" frame, and that'll bring the ball back to the Falcons as they're going to run it the first play from scrimmage. Jones in motion, Renfree drops back. Under pressure, and he gets hit as he throws. That ball is incomplete, and that brings up 3rd and 4. Blitz coming. Renfree, quick throw, has Freeman. 1st down. Falcons, they keep the chains moving here with 6:30 left in the 3rd. And now Freeman, he has some space, and he's going to get up to the 47 as he picks up 10. It'll be 2nd down and 1. Single back set is Coleman. Coleman gets the handoff, and he'll be met by Jairus Byrd on the other side of the 50 into the Saints 48. Coleman gets the handoff once again, has a lane, breaks Vaccaro's tackle, but Jordan runs him down before he can use his speed to get out in the open. 2nd and 12. Renfree under pressure, has Weems over the middle, and that's going to be a gain of 8 as Eric Weems is doing work today for the Falcons, their leading receiver. Julio Jones has been shut down, and Keenan Lewis is going to drop an interception. If he could have got up quick, that might have been a pick 6. But that brings out Matt Bryant. Kick is up, and it is straight down Main Street, as that is going to be the Falcons' first points on the board. It only took them, 40 minutes? But they're on the board. That's all that matters. Count. Good protection. Has Nelson over the middle on the crossing route, and he'll pick up 7 on that play. 2nd and 4. Shotgun formation. Hand off to Ingram. Ingram getting blocking, and he's going to be met by a group of Falcons on the play after picking up a decent gain. And a bad throw by McCown is almost intercepted by Ishmael, but it does not get picked off. No turnovers still for the Saints. As quick throw Cooks over the middle is going to be a gain onto the Atlanta Falcons territory. To the 46. Pitch Ingram. And he's going to be met in the backfield for a loss of 4 by Desmond Trufant. That'll bring to a 2nd and 14. McCown under pressure. Rolling. Has a man at Spiller, and he's going to duck below the Ishmael hit. But that's a 1st down, as that brings up a 3rd and 3 now, and Ingram's met in the backfield at 24. Gaining nothing there. Brings out Kai Forbath. Kick is up, and it is true. And that puts the Saints back up by 17 here with 11:35 left in the 4th. Renfree comes back out, looking to make this lead a little smaller, or come back at least, as he picks up 12 over to Weems. Weems has been the go-to guy. 2nd and 6. Back over the middle, that's Julio Jones. That's their best receiver this year. And he is getting shut down over there by the right corner, Delvin Breaux. Delvin Breaux has been playing amazing today as Weems picks up that 1st down into the Saints territory. Weems, the special teams captain. That's why he has the pink C on his chest. Underneath pass to Hester. He's got speed and he's got space. Breaks a tackle. He ran into his own man, and he'll be brought down at the 33 after running into his own man, Weems, blocking for him. Blitz coming, 2nd and 1. Over the middle, it's Moeki, and Tony Moeki breaks the tackle, and he's in! Touchdown, Atlanta Falcons, as that is their first touchdown of the game with 7:30 left. And that's going to bring up a 3rd and 10 for the Saints. Caught by Nelson, and that ball is going to be going back to the Falcons. with a chance to make it a one-possession game. There's 10, Renfree, shotgun. Over the middle as Tammy's going to drop that ball. Not getting any help from his receivers. Renfree's hitting him in the hands. They're just not catching it. Under pressure now, and he's going to be hit by Keenan Lewis. You can make an argument for intentional grounding, but it's not called. Now he's under pressure, 3rd and 10. He's not going to run. He's going to try to dump it over the middle, and that is incomplete. Looking for Devontae Freeman. Ball goes back to the Saints. Handoff Spiller. Spiller has room, and Spiller gets up to the 45 for the Falcons. Moving the chains for the Saints, and they're making sure they can lock this one up. Now going back to Spiller. Spiller cuts inside, breaks a tackle, and he's stripped up at the 27. A gain of 16 for C.J. Spiller, doing work as that two-headed monster in the backfield continues to dominate. Spiller is the receiving back and Ingram is the runner. 1st and 10, pitch to Ingram. Ingram gets a ceiling block from Johnson, breaks Warlow's tackle, and he gets down to the 5-yard line. That'll set up a 2nd and 2. They go back to him on 2nd down, and he's going to rumble and tumble his way into the end zone. Touchdown Saints. Saints go up 27-10. Falcons coming back. Really not a purpose here with 3 minutes left, and that's an incomplete pass. Julio Jones drops another one. That's his 4th drop of the day. 3rd and 10. Saints looking to seal this one, and it's intercepted. Kenny Vaccaro getting the pick, and that all but seals this one. As first play from scrimmage after that handoff, Ingram is going nowhere. Stopped by the big boy 96 in the middle of that line. They'll be up a 3rd and 11. Saints. This could be the last minute to the 2-minute warning, but it's not, as Benjamin Watson down to the 2, and he's going to be hurt. He has hurt us with drops all year long, but he is now hurt after he makes his best play of the year possibly, and that is going to bring up 1st and goal. Ingram doesn't make it. Stopped by 3 Falcons, Warlow being one of those. 2nd and goal, pitch to Ingram, and that's an easy touchdown. Now he'll celebrate even after being chewed out by the media and his coach after that Cowboys costly fumble that cost them the game. That cost them a chance of being 3-2 instead of 2-3. But that's going to be pass interference on Jacob Tamme, or not on Jacob Tamme. That was Hawthorne, I believe, in coverage, and that is indeed pass interference. And it is on Kenny Vaccaro again, because he cannot cover the deep ball or any ball in case. He's a run-stopping guy. He needs to play linebacker, I almost feel like, as Hawthorne stops that underneath pass for a short gain. They're going to go and hurry up. Has Julio over the middle, and he's going to get up to the 46 of New Orleans, back in the Saints territory. All day to throw for Renfree. Sitting back. Pressure's finally getting there. Kikaha hits him hard. And that ball's going to be well underthrown. Vaccaro almost came with a pick, just being there at the right place, right time. Getting beat by Freeman down the field. 2nd and 10. Head time again. Hits Moeki. And Moeki is going to be brought down after a gain of 11. That picks up the 1st. And the Falcons are in business. Renfree dropping back. Over the middle and has Moeki again. And he's going to pick up 8. Up to the 27 of the Saints. 3rd and 1. Playing starting to come down as they hit Tevin Coleman over the middle. And this is pretty much all but sealed up. It should look like it'll be a 34-10 game as Renfree evades pressure. He's going to run, and he's going to be hit hard. And that is going to be on the ground, and it's recovered by Kikaha. Oli Kikaha is going to recover that fumble, and that is his first fumble recovery of the year. And that's going to seal this one. 34-10, Saints win. As O'Quinn can't be happy with that one, as that was just a disappointing game from his backup quarterback, but you could say the same if the Saints would have lost. But McCown stepped up with that veteran leadership, unlike Sean Renfree, who has played probably 3 major professional games here in the NFL. He really doesn't have that experience. He's never had to play first string, really. And you really saw that today, even though they did start to get stuff going in the second half, which maybe that shows good hope for them in the weeks to come. But Saints played very well. Ingram had the day of his life, bouncing back from those rough last couple weeks. And really, the Saints defense looked amazing, playing a bunch of man-to-man just to shut them down. You know, it surely worked. But here, guys, this is the end of the video pretty much. Continue watching that last minute. It is stats. You'll be able to see that. Benjamin Watson's out for, I believe, 8 weeks. He'll be placed on IR, so they signed Joe Fourier This is out of there right after the game. They do place him on IR. They do sign Joe Fourier. And Joe Fourier will be the starter, or the second stringer to Josh Hill next week. But guys, I'll see you guys later. My name's Northstar, and I'll be talking to you guys